All right, the highlights from Greatstockpix.com today. I'm going to start by kind of dissecting a trade to fully explain, for one of my favorite setups, but for two, I want to get in the habit of at least giving a detailed explanation several times a week of at least one of my trades to hopefully help you understand better what I was looking at. So AMBA, I already had on the watch list. Now there's days I put stocks on the watch list for the members in the chat room, and I might take 6 trades the next day, and none of them will be from the overnight watch list because everything depends on how things unfold or whether or not I see it. Right? I can only have so many charts up at a time, and with 3 monitors, I still feel like I could use more space. But AMBA, you can see here, 16 area was resistance. Right here it was support. Here you had consolidation around the same area, and then you have almost like a 5 or 6 day sell-off down to on volume the last couple days, which could be capitulation down to that 16 area. So I had this on bounce watch today. I knew it had support at 16, which is what I told the members in the chat room. All right, now on an intraday basis, it did one of my favorite things when I'm looking for something as a bounce play because it's already down several days in a row. And you probably saw this in yesterday's video in SanDisk. It had the same thing today. It gapped down. That's arrow right here shows you yesterday's close and then today's open and a quick sell-off, by the way. So these are 2-minute candles. So then about 4 minutes in, it establishes a high and then kind of flags a little bit. So when it looked like this, it met my parameters. Plus, remember, we flushed out the people with stops below 16. Now we're back right at the 16 area. I just went ahead and called it at 16.14. In other words, a high of day break of the 5-minute high. And my worst case stop, I'm going to give it 20 cents to work. All right. So then you can see what happened. There's the entry. The stop was right there, and it never looked back. It just kept climbing and climbing and went up to, I think the high was 16.85 that it went to. And I was a seller up in here because it had stopped climbing and started going sideways, and I was done with it. But that's a nice trade, easy setup. The night before we had the support on the support area, and we knew 16 was relevant, and I loved the gap down in the flush below 16. And then a very nice tight trigger and stop. So it was a pretty easy trade and a nice way to start the day, just like SanDisk yesterday. And then I'm going to bring some live charts on here to show you a couple calls from chat. Soda, you had the gap up. I'm sure you saw it if you traded today. A nice pullback to see this blue line here. That's the 8-period moving average, 2-minute candles. You've heard it in my videos before. Strong stocks, and this one has a lot of shorts in it, tend to bounce off the 2.8, which is the 2-minute candle, 8-period moving average versus the 5.8 for stocks that aren't quite so strong and the 15.8 and so on. But when we have a powerful stock with a lot of shorts, we tend to watch for a turn of the 2.8. And Zozo, one of our all-stars, called it right long over this red candle here. So the entry idea, 64.53. Stop was about 42 cents below. The entry above that red candle. Okay, just to be clear, if you heard that, that was my wife's phone because my daughter called her earlier, and I ran in the kitchen and grabbed her phone because she was in the shower, okay? I do not have "girls just want to have fun" as my ringtone. I want that to be crystal clear before I continue with this video any further. All right, but anyway, the call was basically above this 2-minute candle. See if that, yeah, right there on that green candle, and the stop right below that. So it's a nice narrow range. 64.53 entry, 42 cent risk, and it went, as you can see, for the next 15 minutes or so, a little longer than that, all the way to 67.81. So over $3 move in our favor. Fantastic call by one of our all-stars, Zozo. Let's see, ALGN, I called myself. I saw this volume spike here, okay, and then when it started to base, put in this red candle. I liked the volume today, and the daily very strong, and then came back to that 8-day moving average, put in a couple days. So and if you switch to 15-minute candles, you can see the volume a little better early. Okay, see these, look at that, the opening, what is there, 4 15-minute candles there? See the volume? As you look to the left, you don't see any volume like that for the past several days. So that's kind of an indicator, hey, this one may go. So then back to this chart here, I called it over this little base. You still have the high of day to the left. 42.66, stop 20 cents below, and it went as high as 43.37. I mean, not huge, but a nice one. It worked out well. And First Solar, FSLR, newbie, one of our members, put this on my radar when it was near the high of the day, and I liked it. I liked the base with the high of day still to the left. I just called First Solar at 49.04, stopped 20 cents below, and it went all the way to whatever it was, 49.70 something. So, and then my last call of the day was HIMX. Had that PFPD look to it, potential final push down. This was already on my radar. I'll slide the daily chart over because it had this nice move, and then it was down like 4 or 5 days in a row and was hitting the 20-day. So it became interesting to me anyway. And then when you get this push, I told everybody this could be the final push of that sell-off, and it may be ready to turn. I actually took started a swing position in it down here, but also for a trade for the chat room, I called it at 6:30 with a stop at 6:15, and then we got a really nice move up to 6:59 there. I do hold some of that in my IRA, but for the trade, I'm all out. That's all I've got. I'll quit babbling. Really nice day, and we'll see everybody on Thursday.